All right, good morning and welcome to the Grande Prairie and District Chamber of Commerce Community Pulse Series. My name is Tom and I look after communications and public relations for the Chamber. We acknowledge the Treaty 8 territory, the ancestral and traditional territory of the Cree, Dene, as well as the Métis, and we acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit whose footsteps have marked these lands for generations. We recognize the land as an act of reconciliation and gratitude to those whose territory we reside on or are visiting. We want to remind you that this session is being recorded so we can share it later. And there will be time for questions at the end, but if something comes to mind, you can always type it in the chat box and we will add it to the list. The Grande Prairie area has a robust and diverse economy. The Community Pulse series is designed to provide updates and insights from a variety of industries, sectors, and organizations that make up the fabric of our unique and incredible community. We want to thank our presenting sponsors, the City of Grande Prairie, County of Grande Prairie, Grande Prairie Regional Innovation Network, and TC Energy, which is our highlighted presenting partner today. So thanks to all of them, as well as our supporting partners, Chambers Plan, represented by local broker Hub International, Community Futures, Grande Prairie and Region, Get in the Loop, Grande Prairie, and the Municipal District of Greenview. Now to introduce this week's presenter, Kerrie Taylor currently serves as the Economic Development Coordinator for the Municipal District of Greenview. Greenview's economic development team facilitates industrial development, investment promotion and attraction, capacity building, tourism development, and the management of local market data. Working with regional partners, industry leaders, government officials, and community stakeholders, Greenview's economic development team evaluates potential opportunities to develop key industries and define opportunities for future economic growth. Looking forward to her presentation. Please welcome our friend Kerrie Taylor.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Tom, for the lovely introduction. Gotta remember how to share my screen here. I will put the presentation up and we'll get started. All right, so welcome to the unique, interesting, never a dull moment world of economic development and tourism within the MD of Greenview. Like mentioned, my name is Kerrie Taylor and I'm the Economic Development Coordinator for Greenview. I do believe that Economic Development and Tourism Manager might be on the call. Actually, I think he was sent to jury duty actually, so maybe he is not here. So hopefully Mr. Kevin Keller might be able to pop on for our question and answer period anyway. I have a short presentation to educate you on some of the projects that Greenview Economic Development Tourism team is up to these days. And then if you're interested in having conversation or any questions, I will do my best to answer them and inform you as best as I can. First off, I just have a little video that the MD of Greenview has created to share with you guys.
Located in Alberta's northwest, Greenview is a vast and diverse area rich in natural resources, fertile farmland, and access to all the spectacular beauty the Rocky Mountains has to offer. Sitting in the heart of Canada's energy industry, the region is poised to become Alberta's center of energy diversification. Projects with shale, oil, and one of the largest natural gas deposits in North America are already underway. The area also has its eye on the future as it plays a major role in the development of geothermal renewable energy, all of which attract world-class businesses to provide economic growth and stability. Greenview is part of the Alberta's Peace Region, home to top-ranked employers in the forestry sector and a top producer in forest products. The territory also provides an exceptional growing season and unique advantages to produce a wide variety of crops and contributes to the province's agricultural economy. The business-friendly environment that Greenview has built also extends to our residents and visitors. Our communities take pride in promoting a healthy and active lifestyle, offering a great place to live and play. Major attractions and an abundance of year-round activities are available for outdoor and recreational enthusiasts. We encourage you to look beyond the known, expand your vision, and find adventure an opportunity in Greenview. Located in
So first off, I'd like to explain how the MD of Greenview is the unique economic development and tourism department. With Greenview Economic Development, we have a few angles that differ from our neighboring municipalities. Greenview Economic Development and Tourism is made up of the Greenview Industrial Gateway, also known as the GIG and formerly known as TMIP. We have a community service coordinator and a full tourism team, and of course, economic developers. I'm going to start off with a little update and information session about Greenview Industrial Gateway. The GIG is formerly known as the Tri-Municipal Industrial Partnership, TMIP, and this project was started back in 2017. This initiative was created by Greenview for an opportunity to collaborate with the City of Grande Prairie and the County of Grande Prairie. With this solid collaboration, the TMIP committee was able to create and approve the area structure plan back in 2019. Pushing forward, they received the ongoing support of the Alberta government with the signing of the MOU later in that same year. Then COVID was welcomed into our lives and the changes of our rich economy started to shift. With oil prices at an all-time low, Greenview Council made the very hard decision to create the Greenview Industrial Gateway and continue pushing through on this initiative on their own. Today, Greenview has hired an executive director, Kyle Reiling, to lead this industrial development. Like most of us do know, Greenview Industrial Gateway is located northwest Alberta, approximately 40 kilometers south of the city of Grande Prairie on Highway 40. This prime location is on the Montney Natural Gas Formation, one of the most prolific gas resource plays in North America, and a significant global resource. This location also is bound by the Smoky River to the east, which is important water supply. The Greenview Industrial Gateway is working with and has the support from the Alberta government through extensive consultation and collaboration. This too developed a world-class heavy industrial development with its main focus, value-added petrochemical development using the Montney's abundant natural gas deposits. This is just another image to break down the phases of the extraction. With the Montney Natural Gas Formation so enriched, the world globally is strong demand in natural gas as it is the cleanest burning fossil fuel, which creates additional value added to petrochemical development from the natural gas, which will produce high quality, high value liquid fuels and products. Once the GIG is ready to get fired up, of course, there'll be an increase in economic impacts. The total economic impact of the development scenario, including phase 1 and phase 2, shown in the map, facilitates fees are estimated to reach $5 billion of Alberta's GDP during construction, and with another $2.4 billion annually, which coincides with the employment impacts also on the rise, with the need of approximately 35,000 jobs needed during construction and another 6,000 annually during operations. So where we are now. With the government of Alberta, we have successfully met the needs of the consultation and currently in the process of purchasing the land. For the future, of course, land purchase needs to be fully complete, filling and receiving the full water license to ensure adequate water and regulations are being followed, filling and seeing development of the 2,000 acres of land purchased, setting up acceptable broadband connections for business to have successful business, using the industries that already exist in the area like CN Rail and looking into different new opportunities with carbon capture to continue to do our part for the environment. And of course, we need to give a shout out to the industrial stakeholders, Canadian Natural, ARC Resources. My apologies for having the 7 Gens logo up there. Census Energy, Paramount Resources, Panama Secure Energy Services, Shell Canada, and Canada West Land Service Limited. So we're just going to revert to economic development. Here are just a few things that our team is currently up to. Greenview runs and supports businesses in the business support programs, working on Greenview's wide business retention and expansion, Eventure, fiber optics, opportunities, labor market needs, and of course, I'm going to try and keep you updated as we try and keep updated on the ongoing Highway 40 project. We, of course, have much involved in numerous other boards and small projects, but these are the ones I feel like are going to interest you guys the most today. Well, starting with our business support network programs, our BSNs, Greenview Economic Development runs a Grand Cash BSN program, which provides the Hamlet businesses an opportunity to learn, contribute, and network together, providing group sessions once a month on a variety of topics that have been brought to our attention from them. Our future plan, once COVID restrictions are lifted a little bit, we will use a business to host these events and promote their businesses around their own community. The Fox Creek BSN is ran by a labor and immigration rep from the Alberta government. However, we sit on the steering committee and help support the businesses within Fox Creek and area. Starting on October 12th, 2021, all the businesses within Greenview will have an invite to a BSN opportunity. Economic development wants to build Greenview businesses stronger and provide business professionals with the help along the way. Rebounding from COVID-19 needs to be on our radar for a long-term and a more diverse economy. Greenview is celebrating Small Business Week this year. We are currently accepting nominations for top nominated business of each ward that Greenview is made up of. Greenview is made up of a total of 9 wards altogether. Now you can nominate your top business today, and you can do that by going to our corporate MD of Greenview website. Let's show these businesses that we do support them. Also during Small Business Week in October 20th, we are having a virtual award night with a guest speaker of Doug Griffiths. He's going to present his new material on that 13 ways to kill your community. So if you want more information, again, you can just go to our website and get that more information. Greenview is also currently involved with reaching out to the businesses that are in Greenview for business retention and expansion project. Economic development team went from a person or a team of 1 to a full team of eager small business supporters. We are currently building relationships to see what Greenview can do for these businesses as we learn what is happening at their current level, and hoping more businesses within Greenview to give them more opportunity to grow and grow together for a successful rural future. Eventures. So I'm not sure how many people actually know a lot about Eventure. So Eventure is a Northwest Alberta electric vehicle initiative that was created by a large collaborations of different municipalities in central and northern Alberta to connect Northwest Alberta to the Peaks to Prairies electric vehicle project. Greenview, along with the city of Grande Prairie, the town of Whitecourt, the town of Edson, the town of Hinton, the town of Rocky Mountain House, the town of Drayton Valley, and our newest member, the city of Edmonton, have all come together to sit on an advisory committee to light up the Northwest Alberta with 20+ charging stations. We're currently seeking support from the provincial and federal governments, as well as looking for industry partners to help contribute to this initiative. I love talking about electric vehicles and how we're going to light up Northwest Alberta. So if anybody wants to talk to me more about this, by all means, you can contact me. You can ask questions later on or contact me after. Fiber optics in Greenview. We are trying hard to get lit up with fiber optics. As of today, approximately 50% of Grande Cache is lit up with Canadian fiber service, with the intent to have the full hamlet by the end of this year, or at least have the option and the wire laid for residents if they choose to go fiber. Fiber cable is pulled the length of Highway 40 from Grande Prairie to Grande Cache, so industry along that highway also have the option of using this service. We already service Milner Power and CTS Mine. Grovedale Municipal District of Greenview buildings are already lit up with Canadian fiber, and the distribution node is just west of the hamlet. There's been lots of conversations to residents from Canadian fiber in the area, and we're looking to continue to push the wire through the highway. Canadian fiber optics, aka Northern Lights, have been serving Valley View and is currently pulling line throughout the town. We're currently collaborating with the town of Valley View to support those businesses within Greenview around the town, and looking for partnership with industry in around Highway 43 as well. As for Fox Creek and area, they already have a pretty good presence with TELUS and fiber, so that part of the MD is good for fiber options. Our labor market needs. Greenview was and still fortunate enough to work with the Grande Prairie and District Chamber of Commerce, the City of Grande Prairie, and the County of Grande Prairie, and the Labor and Immigration Department of the Government of Alberta on the Labor Market Needs Assessment, which was launched April 7th, 2021. So much information, useful data was collected during this assessment, and now we're currently undergoing the next steps of the labor market needs. We have added the Grande Prairie Regional College to this great collaboration initiative, looking out for the future of our region as a region. The good topic of Highway 40. So in February 2020, Greenview passed the motion to approve the expenditure up to 50% of the project cost of twinning Highway 40, not exceeding 60 million. Therefore, the Alberta Transportation and the MD of Greenview, with the help of the County of Grande Prairie, joined together to twin approximately 20 kilometers of the first part of Highway 40, starting at the City of Grande Prairie. To approximately northboard, it'll end up. It's actually Township Road 700. This project has started in the spring of 2021, this past spring, and will continue until fall 2023, working on 2 phases. Phase 1 is from the city limits to Highway 666, and phase 2 goes from Highway 666 to Township Road 700. The progress of this project has been good and is on target schedule for the time being. Bridge supports are expected to be placed in the next couple weeks. Actually, I do believe yesterday, my drive out to work out to Grovedale here, they had some of the bridge supports laid down, and this morning looked like they were starting to pound some of them into the ground. So we're definitely seeing headways there for sure. The road will continue to be sectioned off and we should not anticipate any paving anytime soon. However, when the entrance of Highway 666 is open, it will be open to allow people to use that Highway 666 once they have a clear way to the highway. A little side note too, Alberta Transportation did speak to Greenview Council last week, and they did comment that Highway 666 was noted and future investigations will be done on that. I don't anticipate it'll be this current year, but it's nice to hear that Highway 666 is on their radar. And I know it's a hot topic and heavily supported by Greenview Council and administration to any conversation we do have with Alberta Transportation, we always talk about that highway and the repairs that need to happen on there. So the newest program to economic development and tourism team is the community service programs. Greenview is a proud supporter of the community, giving back to the community throughout community grants, bursaries, and scholarship program, the sponsorship and donations. In 2020, Greenview provided over $7 million in funding to Greenview and surrounding communities, including bursaries and scholarships, 15 college and university students, and the 2020 PBR, Canadian Finals event, STARS, and many other community events and programs. In 2021, Greenview continues to develop relationships with nonprofit organizations. One of Greenview's 2021 initiatives is to increase the community support for Greenview's nonprofit organizations by hosting small community engagement sessions throughout the summer. This will provide an opportunity for the non-for-profits to discuss community support challenges and will provide a forum for networking. Greenview community bulletin boards were updated throughout the summer with a fresh new look and an opportunity to support the community. Last but certainly not least, our tourism. Greenview has a number of different tourism initiatives. However, I'm just going to hit a few that Greenview Economic Development and Tourism have created and or are promoting at this time. Of course, I'll start with Grand Cache Tourism and Interpretive Center. So much to do and see. If you've not made it there, it's definitely worth a stop on your next trip. Lots of new gear for hiking in the gift shop, and there's always something new featured in the art gallery. I do believe it is Alberta top artists right now, so it's a really cool art exhibit right now upstairs in the center. Greenview is hoping to open a new exhibit for the tourism team that they've been working on with the Lethbridge College, and it's a virtual reality exhibit that showcases the dinosaur tracks that are just up past the mine in Grand Cache. The Grand Cache Tourism Center has had a pretty good summer, seeing more visitors than expected, especially during these times. A total visits to date is over 13,000 people, with just over 10,000 of them being summer visitors. One of our newest tourism initiatives is the Greenview's Green Chairs. There are 2 of these green chairs at beautiful locations and around for you to explore and see views, relax, and spend some time. You should explore your own backyard and look with some of these green chairs throughout the fall while our lovely weather just keeps on coming up. The chairs are at these following locations: Pure Grey Provincial Park, Grand Cache Lake, Birdseye Park, Southview Provincial Recreation Area, Kakwa Provincial Recreation Area, Grovedale Fish Pond, Moody's Crossing, the Debault Trails by the Museum in Debault, Swan Lake, Valley View Tourism Center, and Johnson Park. Greenview is very happy to announce the return of the Greenview Golf Master 2021. There are a few changes. You golf 4 of these golf courses and within Greenview, and you could win $300 to spend at one of the following golf courses. Isn't awesome to collaborate with these businesses, and the future looks bright. We'll continue to do Greenview Golf Masters for the upcoming 2022 as well. Passport to the Peaks. This program was actually rolled out by the Recreation Department. Tourism helps promote and hands out the passports to promote this program. This is an opportunity to check out some of the parks within Greenview, Once you explore the park, you have a little sticker that's in this passport, and you put your sticker on the passport. It's just as easy as that. Greenview works hard on promoting and showcasing our large, beautiful area. There's so much to do within our boundaries and borders, from Grand Cache Mountains to Nighthawk all year Provincial Park to UPick, and so much agriculture, fishing, always something to do. Greenview has 2 multiplexes as well, one in Grand Cache and one in Valley View. If you're not into the outdoorsies, there's always time to stop by and do those things. And that's all I got for you. I said I had lots of slides. I thought I was going to take up lots of time, but I guess I talked really fast, which is something that I guess I'm pretty good at. So if you have any questions, any comments, any kind of conversation you'd like to have about anything within Greenview, even if it was something that I didn't note, I know I didn't note geothermal. I'm happy to talk geothermal. I just don't have a ton of information. The last thing that I knew is Alberta 1 drilled down to as far as they thought they needed to, but they need to go a little further. So they're just back on getting some information and some studies on seeing their next steps. So I guess, Tom, I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, thanks, Kerrie. I'm getting some feedback here somehow, but anyway, I'll work through it. I mean, sometimes it's easy to forget how vast the MD of Greenview is, and how much is located within it. It really does have to be a challenge for you folks to try and wrap your heads around everything that that is going on, and sometimes it's like, well, where do you start? Like what your team meetings when you try and prioritize the what's going on in the MD. It's what are those meetings like, and just to try and work your way through the entire MD.
What are our team meetings like? Well, I guess we kind of it's divide and conquer for sure. We have a bigger team now than we did before, so that's definitely helpful. And we all work very well with one another. We tend to actually overlap a lot, but it all seems to work out really great because we're able to work together. But a lot of the times, because we are so diverse, we're so large in size, and we need to really sit down and figure out our business support and economic development is aside from our tourism, rather than collecting it all together, because sometimes that kind of happens as well. So we're getting better.
Well, but I mean, yeah, like you're incorporating a whole bunch of area, and even just to connect to some of these communities is got to be a little bit challenging too.
Can be challenging. I feel like since we've gotten our department name out a little bit, it is so nice to talk to these communities and talk to these businesses, and they're like, oh, we do have somebody that's there. There is. So calling all businesses, like, phone us. We want to be involved with your business. We want to help support you. We may want to make Greenview known and strong and continue on. I see there is some comments.
Yeah, a couple of comments about the passport to the, is it peaks or parks?
So the one that I talked about is parks, and that came from our recreation, but passport to the peaks is its own identity in Grand Cache, and it's pretty awesome. I do know that there was issues, actually, I was working on it yesterday with our communications team, that the president of Passport to the Peaks mentioned that their link is going straight to the MD website. So we are currently working on that, and hopefully to have it fixed up. But they are 2 different identities. The MD of Greenview, we just promote the Passport to the Peaks. So, which is really cool too. Everybody should go hiking in Grand Cache. It's beautiful. There's my little.
Gotta give them a plug for sure. For sure. before I dominate this conversation, are there any other questions from the assembled masses here? Oh, you shy people.
I've got a question, Tom.
Thank you, Cami. Go ahead.
Kerrie, I was just wondering if you could speak a little bit more about the business retention and expansion program. You mentioned it was just a small team of one, and now it's expanded to, I believe you said, small business owners. So I know they're starting to build relationships, but can you give a few more details as to what their goals are, like what they're wanting to achieve in the short and long term?
Yeah, for sure. So we're just like just this summer, actually, we had a summer student be able to walk into businesses and kind of get some more information. Greenview Council does not, we do not have a policy or a business license requirement. So it makes us have to kind of pound that pavement and find those businesses on our own for economic development. So we're just at that beginning stage, trying to see, who's who in the zoo, what kind of businesses we have in Greenview. Of course, we know the ones that are on the street, but what about all the other ones that are maybe on that side road, and all those lovely things that sometimes we forget about of being in a rural, not even community, because we are just a municipality. And then our next steps are going to be actually rolling out a plan of what these businesses need from us, the support they need from us, and where we can go to help them expand.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cami.
Cindy Park has her hand up.
Hi, Kerrie. I have a question regarding the tourism side. You have an incredible partner out there, Assiniboine Winawak Nation, with their artistic and their artisans and their cultural camps and all of the things that they offer. Are you partnering with AWN to explore that more so?
Yeah, I have actually been involved with a couple conversations. I oversee a few tourism initiatives, so I don't want to speak too much because I don't know the whole ins and outs, but I definitely have sat in a couple of the meetings, and Indigenous tourism is definitely something that Greenview and AWN have talked about. So their conversations are happening. I feel like our lives have been on hold for 18 months. I seriously do. And that it's too bad, but I just feel like we're always trying to bumper through the rules and regulations. So, but it's definitely, yes, on our radar. It's amazing. AWN's plan, if everything goes the way they want to go, is going to be beautiful down there. So I'm hoping the MD will be part of that.
The Travel Alberta is really quite involved with lots of grants around Indigenous tourism, and it would really help their communities too. So I hope the MD would be helpful in that.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely see the advantage of it for sure.
You said during your presentation you like talking about electric cars.
Which I never thought I would.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks like it's quite a network that's developing. Yeah, let's hear some more about that.
So Eventure was something that I have a lot of heart and passion for. It's something that was put on my desk, and I was just like, "What is this?" And I've been kind of from the beginning stages. My conversation started with some of the economic developers that were involved with the Peaks to Prairie project, which involved talking to their Rebecca. Sorry, she threw me right off. So yeah, I talked to the Peaks to Prairie project manager Sue down in southern Alberta, and got the ins and outs to Peaks to Prairie's. and realize that we really need to be on the same par. We need to be provincial wide if we're going to offer these opportunities for Southern Albertans to have tourism initiatives by bringing the estates up, because it's all lit up down there for electric vehicles from north or southern BC and northern America, all those tourism people. Well, you can only go as far as about Red Deer. You can chance Red Deer to Edmonton if you got enough, but we're not really lit up really past there if you want to do any kind of tourism or just have an electric vehicle in general. A lot of people think that electric vehicles are just for that city use or the quick in and outs, but they are expanding. The new trucks that are going to be coming out here shortly are pretty amazing. The travel time still isn't super great, which I think a lot of people in the north can't wrap their head around, but there's so much to do when you can, if the electric vehicle infrastructure is placed in the right spot, you can, take that time to, if it's at a coffee shop, you can stop, park, plug in, and do some work or catch some emails, do whatever you need to do. If it's at a hiking trail, you can plug in, you take that trail up, and you come back, pack a lunch, have a sandwich, and you're back there. So there's an opportunity to really dive into supporting some of these mom and pop sandwich shops and support our small businesses in that aspect as well.
Yeah, there was a story about a fellow that drove across Canada and back, electric vehicle, and just to, well, it was in honor of his late wife, but also just to prove that there is infrastructure in place in a lot of places, but I guess it's just more about expanding that infrastructure and allowing for more travel, more to more areas. So
Expanding it, and also to have the right infrastructure. Because if you have a level 2 charging station in Grande Prairie, you're there for a couple hours. It's not, whereas if you can have a fast charging station, you can be there for 30 minutes and continue on. So there's a difference of what the infrastructure is. There's a difference, like believe Petro-Canada and Canadian Tires have the opportunity. They're privately owned, so they have the opportunity to buy in to have electric vehicle infrastructure at your site, but it's up to you. So you maintain it, and so not all of those businesses jump on that opportunity, but it's not also the fast charging one. So, if you had one at Canada, fast charging electric vehicle charging station at your Canadian Tire, especially ours, because it's so big, by the time you walked up and down every aisle, your car is fully charged and you're on your way. So that's the fun part about it. And I know a lot of people, especially in Northwest Alberta, think that we're taking away from our economy from oil and gas. Our oil and gas sector is not going to hurt because we have electric vehicle infrastructure on our highways to support tourism and small businesses in the area. We will keep on pushing through. Our oil and gas sector is stronger than that.
yeah, it's all about balance, and I mean there are not necessarily new forms of energy, but alternate forms of energy that that have potential, and I mean it's such a large region. Again, there are opportunities. I mean, you already mentioned the geothermal part of it, and and the potential for that in the region is quite exciting.
I 110% agree with you, Cindy. There's tons of room for all of it up here, especially.
You bet. Did you have any more updates about the geothermal exploration, or?
Yeah, the last information that I got from Alberta One was just that they drilled that to their depth that they thought they had to, but they need to go a little further. And they're also looking at a different abandoned well site just down the road, actually, from our building here. So hopefully more news to come in 2022.
You betcha. And gig is progressing. I mean, I know you don't have a ton of updates on that, but just for the curiosity seekers, it's you know, I know you've had to pivot and do a little bit of a change, but it sounds like you were able to do some good things there too.
Yeah, once the province and Greenview have all the land purchasing, the agreements are done. We're just waiting to finalize everything and have that land. And until that goes, that'll be all Kyle's doing. He is kicking butt on the gig. So we just need to get the word out of what the gig actually is, and that it is still going the way that the direction that we wanted the TMIP to go. So it's still the same initiative. It's still a go, and it's going to help us regionally.
I know you guys do a lot of work with the county, and when I heard about the business support networks, Grand Cache, Fox Creek, I mean, you know, the county has one as well, and those are really important for these small communities that maybe don't necessarily have you know, people in place or the internal supports, or for lack of a better way of saying it, but I mean, you know, people within their communities, if you know, if you can help oversee some, you know, some help there. I know the business support network, a lot of businesses appreciate that.
Sometimes it's just nice to know that other businesses in the area are seeing the same problems that you're having, or maybe had a problem and have a solution. Why invent the wheel when the wheel already is spinning? Like, just jump on and you can take how they solve their problem and work together. It's all about working together and helping each other grow rather than pushing through and trying to do it on your own. But I like that idea. Maybe I'll hit up Hetty here in the next couple of weeks, and maybe we can have an intercrossing one, because it'd be nice for all the businesses to kind of talk to one another. And
well, you know, I mean, the one thing, she's got her thumb up, so there you go. I mean, the one thing that has come out of this last 18-20 months is about technology and the ability to maybe connect where, you know, we maybe didn't take the advantage of being able to do these sort of face-to-face things from a long distance. I mean, we love our face-to-face meetings. We love, you know, you can never take away from those, but you know, in an area as vast as yours, it probably could be a really benefit.
I think so. It's pretty amazing that I can do a meeting in Grande Cache, a meeting in Fox Creek, and then meet with somebody in DeBolt all on the same day, because that wouldn't have happened 18 months ago. It would have been like one day to Fox Creek, one day to Grande Cache, one day to DeBolt. So we have to use it as a sign. Like, we got to take the positive out of what happened. And with our area being so big, this definitely helps it out. Although we need to push that fiber so that we have the technology supporting all of our small businesses in the area. So
yeah, I mean,
one step at a time.
I work with someone from Grovedale, so I mean, I hear about you know, the need for maybe a little improved infrastructure, but I mean, I guess it takes time, it takes money, and it takes planning, and you know, you're dealing with some geographical challenges and all sorts of things. So I guess it's patience and you know, I mean, it's not as if you're not aware that there are issues.
I was just going to say, I think this first step is being aware. And I think that was shown very well when we have how many ratepayers that children can't log into school because they live where they live. That can't happen.
We've talked about energy, obviously agriculture, a big part of the MD as well. How are the supports for ag, and what's the outlook for that sector?
Yeah, we have a pretty awesome ag department. We have a new ag manager too. She seems to be pretty spot on. Sheila, she's pretty awesome. So she she's been dealing with a lot of ins and outs with agriculture this summer, and it's there's great support there. So.
And of course, you can't talk about the piece and not talk about forestry. And I mean, you got a lot of trees in your area.
Yeah, the Grand Crush Mill also did a bunch of cleanup, and they are going strong. They really crushed this COVID time. So that mill is really really done some great things.
Cool. Any other questions from the audience before I do a 3, 2, 1? Was there anything else you wanted to touch on, Kerrie, while we wait for the shy folks to raise their hands?
Ken, I'm not sure how many passports to the park books we have left, but yeah, if they print some more. I think there was a little issue with some of the stickers, so they only printed a couple hundred of them, but I'll look into that for sure and get anything to you, Ken. That's awesome. We appreciate your collaboration with tourism.
Thumb up from Ken. There you go. Anyone else? Well, that was great. Really appreciate you taking the time today, Kerrie. And I know I learned a lot just from the presentation about some of the things that are going on in the MD. And oh, wait, Cindy Parks still has her hand up. So I think maybe she's got one more question.
I do. I just thought of something. City of Grande Prairie and the county have been doing, opportunities for businesses to apply for grants, and that could be facade grants, economic development grants, anything like that with the MD.
So not in this 2021, but it is a budget line item for my 2022. So yeah, we should have some opportunities here in the near future. Just working on the final touches on what that looks really compared to in the city. We've got to have a few policies and procedures in place to make sure that it's fair for everybody.
Yeah, the city has done a great job, and so has the county on providing opportunities. So it would be great for the MD to do that too, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Thanks again, Cindy. And thanks again, Kerrie. It's always a pleasure chatting, and we've seen a lot of each other over the last 18 months, and look forward to more collaborations on a number of events. I know on behalf of the chamber, we always appreciate the MD's support, and if there are ways we can support them, you know where we are. So thanks again, and thanks to everyone who joined in this morning. We again like to acknowledge all of our presenting partners, the City of Grande Prairie, the County of Grande Prairie, Grande Prairie Regional Innovation Network, and TC Energy, and our supporting partners, Chambers Plan, represented by local broker Hub International, Community Futures Grande Prairie and Region, Get in the Loop Grande Prairie, and the Municipal District of Greenview. Our next session in the Community Pulse series is a week from today on October 6th with the County of Grande Prairie. So we'll get their perspective on what's going on in their part of this region. If you want to register for that, you can do it on our website, grandeprairiechamber.com. And you can check out our website for some of our other upcoming events. We had our municipal forum last night. We've got a County of Grande Prairie election forum next week, October 5th. And we've got some ribbon cuttings coming up and things like that, and Small Business Week coming up in October. So we're busy, the MD's busy, everyone's busy. Let's stay busy, and let's continue to grow our economy and our region. And have a great day, everyone, and a great rest of the week. Talk to you soon.